Hello again everyone, this is Prison Architect, I'm Spaghettikid, and we're going to be expanding a bit today. So we've opened our prison to more prisoners. We have 18 prisoners, which is an awful lot, but we can cope with that. We've got maximum space for 40, and these are going to be normal security prisoners. I haven't tried maximum security, I've tried minimum, but I perfectly can get along fine with normal security. So I see no reason why you should only get minimum security, unless maybe it's your first time playing and you really don't think you're going to be able to cope with people that might get a little bit angry. I'm just going to get rid of these lights because they're so awkward. I'll leave some of them. It's always the case that you get filled up with tons of light bulbs, because you've been accumulating them from when you've built rooms and then changed the lighting. Okay, that'll be fine. Okay, so I'm just going to check the power. Power is fine. I think I'm also going to get rid of a few of my staff now. So I'll get rid of the tired ones, might as well. I'm going to go down to fewer staff, and that should just give us a bit more money coming in. So we've now got £9,000 coming in. So we get 14 grand a day, and only 4.8 thousand of that is being spent. So we have a lot of money, which means we have a lot of dispensable income. We're going to be getting a lot of money just from having a prison that works. So as long as we can avoid having riots and things like that, we should be perfectly fine. So there's very little to be building actually. We've got this prison manufacturing facility, which should give us an extra $10,000 when we've built 30 license plates, which we should do in the first day probably. I think I'm going to go to prison policy. I'm going to change this a little bit. So generally, if someone's attempted at escaping, I think they should be put in solitary for a couple of hours, because it really doesn't seem worth it that they're just locked in their room for a little bit. It's a kind of light telling off. If they've also attacked someone, I think they also want to be in solitary, and if they've destroyed something, they also want to be in solitary, because they're probably rioting if they've destroyed something. However, I'm going to change some of these things. So if they are found with luxuries, I'm going to put them in lockdown, which just locks them in their cell for 1 hour. If they've got drugs, then I'll put them in solitary for 2 hours. If they've found tools generally aren't too bad, so they're things like spoons, or maybe things like drills and other things. So that can be bad, but it's not major. So that's going to be locked down, but for 2 hours. I think most of these, basically, if you put them in solitary, you have like it creates a warning to prisoners somehow. I'm not exactly sure how the mechanics work, but if prisoners have been punished for doing crime, it somehow creates a deterrent for other prisoners doing that. So if you put lots of people in solitary for a long time, it generally will shut them up a bit. But you don't want them in prison in solitary for too long. So things like 4 hours. Serious injury is if they've like attacked another prisoner or a staff or something like that. So then 4 hours is what what was already there. But something else I'm going to do is I'm going to make everything they do require them to search their cell and themselves. And what this is going to do is it's going to mean people that will be stealing spoons, they're going to get punished because they've stolen a spoon, so I'm going to look at their room and find out what they've been hiding. Because if you have prisoners that are not working, there you go, that should be okay. If you've got prisoners that are walking... I've completely forgot what I'm saying. If you've got prisoners like that need to be punished, you obviously want to give them an appropriate punishment, and you want to search them, because if you're searching their cells, it means that their cells, which things can be hidden in cells, so if I go and look at one of these cells, you can click on something and click search. That will then set that to be searched, and a guard will come running along here, and they'll search it. Sometimes they'll find things, sometimes they won't. And you can also do a full shakedown, which I will do probably about every 10 days, because what that will do is it will prevent people from being able to secretly hide a spoon in their room. So if they've stolen a spoon but they get to their room, they can hide it in their room. And what that will do is it means they can then use that spoon to dig a hole, and they can effectively dig a tunnel out of your prison. So you obviously want to avoid that. There is quite a big distance for them to have to tunnel out, so because they have to literally tunnel right to the edge of the map. So it's not very effective. So I think we're about to have eating time, and then yard time, and then work. So I think we'll probably have enough time to change this up a bit. So they're going to have enough time to eat then. So I'm going to move yard time back 1. I'm going to add another hour of work, and then in the middle of this I'm going to have free time and a bit more work. And that hopefully will work. I'm going to obviously check the needs and make sure everything's being looked after. So you can see instantly someone was found with a spoon, and their bookshelf, no, everything in their cell was searched, which is really good. So just means people aren't gonna like hide things in their room. So if someone's found with something, you then search their room, and it's just really good because then you don't end up with them hiding stuff. So it's work now, so they're going to start producing stuff. So hopefully they're going to do both sawing of things and pressing of things, otherwise they won't actually be producing any plates. Yeah, there you go. There's one guy, 2 guys are now producing things. So hopefully we'll get lots of license plates produced. So there's 2 people interested in the workshop safety induction, but I'm going to wait until there's a few more people. But now we've just had all our extra prisoners added. I didn't realise that actually. We've got all our new prisoners here. So we've got an awful lot of prisoners that all, I think, are these new ones. And they're, well, the kitchen hygiene. I'm just going to dismantle this door and replace it with a normal door. Hopefully, if someone takes that door down. Come on, someone dismantle the door. No one's dismantling the door? They all seem to be restocking all the license plate sections. Come on. Someone remove the door, there you go. So I need to put a normal door in just because the staff door can't be opened by prisoners. So I also need to remove that door. For the meantime though, I'm going to put a separate door down. So hopefully we'll have all our prisoners working away to cook food. And we're now getting $10,000 per day. And we've almost got £100,000. We've now sold all our license plates, I think, because we seem to have got rid of that license plate thing. We've also got more prisoners arriving in the morning, which we want to avoid. So I'm just going to close to that normal. I'm going to close to prisoners. One is awaiting solitary confinement. Something odd I've noticed with solitary confinement is that they don't actually get... The doors don't actually stay locked, so the door is open even though he's in solitary confinement, which is really odd. So we can have a look at finances. So we're getting a lot of money as days without incident. So having a prison that functions really well is really good, because it obviously you gain tons of money. So they seem to have improved the finances a lot, because before you just got a very small amount of money from having actual prisoners. So you got an amount of money given to you for each prisoner you had. But now you get a lot of money. You get the same as you did, but you also get money for having a functioning prison. So you seem to be able to gather money a lot quicker than you could beforehand. So you can see already we've got £240,000 just from this prison, which is a medium-sized prison. It's not small, it's not big. We've got extra space to expand later. And I've just realised, now we've got all our extra prisoners, we can have some prisoners working in here. So we've got 4 qualified prisoners, so we might as well have 3 working in there, just so we get more food knocked out quickly. We've got 9 people working in there, so we've got 3 and 9, so that's 12, which leaves us with 26. So 26 halved is 13, so we can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now that should be every single prisoner working somewhere. So half of them are working in the laundry and cleaning cupboard and the workshop, and then the kitchen. So that's quite good, and should mean we've got a lot of kind of stuff squished in. A lot of people working, squished in a fairly small area. So to get something I never used to realise is that you have to have these a certain size to get a certain number of people. So I used to have a really tiny cleaning cupboard and be confused as to why normally people in videos could get like 20 people working there, but I could only get like 1 or 2. And it's because you have to have them the maximum size. So there's a certain number of squares that are required per person in a job. So I think it requires you to have 80 meters squared of internal space in a cleaning cupboard in order to have 20 people working, and if you go higher than that you still can't get more than 20. But hopefully everyone's going to be working away, and we're getting quite a lot of money, and we've now gone over 100,000. And I'm just going to have another look at grants and see what things. It seems odd. You can get investment, so you lose money but then get a bit more back. So this cell block B we'll be doing in a minute. Not in a minute, in probably the next episode, when we've got we've only got 40 cells, so we may want to increase that by building another block, and that should give us 60 cells. And then 80 when we've got the next cell block. And then we could put some other blocks back here somewhere. This is a very odd grant. You have to feed a single poor meal for 2 days, and then 3 good meals for 2 days. So that's a bit confusing, so I'm not going to do that right away. The education reform means you need to build Unlock education, build a classroom, 20 school desks, 15 prisoners pass the foundation course, and 5 pass the general course. I'm not going to do that yet, and I'm not going to do that yet. So I think at the moment we haven't really got many to do. We could do silly ones like these, or this one. I may do this crackdown on drugs because it just requires you to find 10 illegal narcotics, which isn't that much. So, something I sometimes do, which I will do now actually since it's been 19 days, is I'll do a shakedown. This is a bit crazy, and what it does is it's just going to mean every staff will be, well no, every spare guard will search every cell block. So you've got to find, we wanted to find 10 illegal narcotics, so hopefully we can find lots of illegal narcotics. And we've already found one thing. This is all the stuff found recently, I think. So we found more poison, so a lot of people are stealing poison, and I think this is all because we have a lot of people working in the cleaning cupboard, which has all this bleach. So they will steal all the bleach. So yeah, we've got more poison. We've got loads of poison. So I think what I might do actually, because of that, is go and get a metal detector and shove one on that door, and hopefully that should stop people from trying to steal stuff. I've just realised, I'm going to want to put one right on the entrance here. So we're still searching everything, and we're going to get quite a lot of danger level because we're going to have a lot of prisoners that are unnecessarily searched. So it says 15 prisoners have been unnecessarily searched recently, and that just makes them a little bit angry when they've been searched for no reason. Obviously, if you've been accused for something and you haven't actually done it, it's not going to be very pleasant. But we've almost searched all the places, and then we'll get a nice, bring, bring noise. Hopefully. Maybe. So we have 7 prisoners awaiting solitary confinement, which is quite a lot, and it's just because they've been hiding loads of things in their rooms, so they're all going to get taken gradually to solitary confinement. I'm just going to go on guard patrols. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guard patrols, and we've only got 10 guards, so I might hire a couple more guards. Now we have an absolute ton of money coming in, so I think we'll be okay. We've got loads of people that need to be searched. A lot of people in solitary as well, but they deserve it. Two, 3, 4, 5. I think we're going to change this layout actually. I'm going to change this so it can hold more prisoners, yet it should be the same size. So I'm just going to try and sort this out. So I'll go to rooms and I'll undesignate all these. And I'll just go to materials. So I'm going to be making this so it can just hold a lot more people. Well, not a lot more. Before I could only hold 8, I'm going to change it so it should be able to hold 10 prisoners. So instead of having these longer prison solitary cells, I'm going to have smaller cells. Which only really matters because, oh, here you go. We've now got all the workmen doing the shift to get loads of metal for the workshop. That's strange. This prisoner just ran straight in this room. I'm just going to search this bed. Now, I've never really figured out this properly. Because people seem to run to bits of furniture as soon as they run in and get scanned, so when they're going towards their cells. And I don't know whether that's because I don't know whether that's just chance or whether that's because they're actually they've been doing things wrong. So interesting to find out. Solitary. Mark these down for solitary cells. And eventually they'll get built. Okay, so we've done a couple of things today. We've done a couple of grants, we've increased working capacity, we've changed the solitary cells a little bit, and we had some prisoners employed in the kitchen. And we've also had all our extra prisoners move in. So we've not got that much on at the moment. Got another prisoner due for release in an hour, and we're closed from your inmates. We've got a couple of people waiting solitary confinement, but he's now in there. We're just hopefully going to get all this built and put in place. And I think we'll end here. So thank you for watching. This has been me, Spaghettikid, playing Prison Architect. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, make sure you like it and subscribe if you want to see more of them. And I'll hopefully see you in another video. Have a nice day. Bye.